One of the biggest transformative steps taken by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu since assuming office is that the government has brought greater credibility to governance, having been consistent with its development agenda in all sectors, and it is now clear that the governor will stay true to his promise to work for the people passionately from his first day in office in February 2017 to his last day in office in February 2025. On Sunshine Infrastructure Revolution, we have been tracking his promise, and the conclusions are left to all in the state and beyond to make. Last week, we started our Memory Lane edition by engaging the Infrastructure, Lands and Housing Commissioner, Engineer Raimi Aminu, on his ministry's journey so far in the Northern Senatorial District. This week, we shall conclude the Memory Lane edition with a facts check in the Central and Southern Senatorial Districts. Welcome to the program. My name is Akinwumi Apotunde. Our guide again this week is the Honorable Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Engineer Raimi Olaiwola Aminu, FNSE. But my conversation with him will be after the break.
Infrastructural development is key to creating a community where people are excited to live, where investors are willing to put their money, and where people are willing to visit for relaxation. Since 2017, infrastructural development has been done with passion in Ondo State by the Akeredolu administration, and the government has made sure that its infrastructural development drive cuts across all sectors, including transportation, health, education, commerce, tourism, security, revenue generation, among others. Ondo State is now the best place to invest, relax, and live in. The governor, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, SAN-CON, therefore invites the world to the state to enjoy the fantastic opportunities provided through massive infrastructural development by his administration. This message is powered by Ondo State Ministry of Infrastructure, Lands and Housing. Ondo State, think anew, act anew.
Next is the questions and comments segment, and this week we will give you the responses to the last batch of the questions we received while this program was on break. I therefore wish to deeply appeal to those who sent questions and comments after last week's edition to please bear with us. Your messages will receive attention next week. Please keep the questions and comments coming through the number on your screen. The concluding part of my Memory Lane interview with the Commissioner will come your way shortly. Please stay.
Three things clearly define the Akeredolu administration's infrastructure development drive for the people of Ondo State, ensuring a turnaround in the level of the infrastructural gap it met in 2017.
People were lacking in many things. For instance, we knew there was infrastructural gap. So I just felt, look, let me do the best I can.
Ensuring fairness to all in the infrastructural development journey.
Ask any resident within the area that has been constructed, if any of them have ever been to Mr. Governor or have ever been to any commissioner. We selected those roads based on the needs, level of decay, and the population.
The government also desires to have feedback on how much its efforts are impacting the lives of the people.
Ondo State, think anew, act anew.
Welcome to the program. My name is Akinwumi Apotunde. Today on Sunshine Infrastructure Revolution, I will be speaking with the Honorable Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Engineer Raimi Olaiwola Aminu, FNSE. Engineer Aminu, thank you very much for joining me on the program today.
Thank you, too. Thank you.
Okay, so let us begin with the Central Senatorial District. Last week we tried to examine what had happened in the Northern Senatorial District. But this week, when you came on board in 2017, I mean the Akeredolu administration, Akure had a lot of roads which were in bad shape. So, but immediately you started work on them. What defined your intervention? What were the factors you considered when you decided to intervene on the roads?
When we came on board in 2017, we had so many letters, we had so many agitation from the community, from residents, from estates. So we put them together. We visited those areas and we prioritized them according to the needs, according to the population. So by then, we came up with some roads that, in fact, when we started working on them, people were dazed that how come? For instance, look at Abushoro. We started, I think one of the first roads that we started with in 2017 was Abushoro Road. Abushoro is off Ijoka, complete rock area. Those people living in that area, they normally, those people that have car owners, they park in the nearby filling stations and trek to their various houses. A massive rock. So we blasted those rocks, we treated them, and the hydraulic structure was put in place. Standard road, go there, you can't find a single pothole. It was given to CGC Nigeria Limited as at then, and it was about 2.something kilometers. We started with that road. After that one, we moved to Iwalewa. Iwalewa, in fact, hardly that you know that there was an existing road before, because just like footpath to the farm settlements. When we started, when we were doing the reconnaissance survey, we were playing with cows. We were there feeding themselves. Iwalewa is into 3 axes. We have Iwalewa to Hospital Road, Iwalewa to Alafia Tayo, and Iwalewa to Oshile. And we have massive bus coverts, double cell of 3x3. We consulted there, and then this one gave us fame because people. How come this government is just moving into interior? After that one, we moved to Gaga. Gaga, since I entered this ministry early 2000, we've been receiving letters from Gaga community. Gaga community, when I started work there, nearly all the buildings there were already deserted because they cannot access their buildings. When we started, I remember a time when Mr. Governor visited the site. One old woman came out, was praying for Mr. Governor. He said most of the tenants that ran away, they started coming back. That life have resumed back to that area. That area is a waterlogged area, so we treated it with filter beds and we used stone base because of the nature of the soil, no good material, no good earth material to prepare the base course. So all those things, we put them in place. Look at Gaga. Gaga is around 6 kilometers. We constructed it and you can go there now, you can confirm it. Gaga to Abiodun. So about 6 kilometers. After then, we moved to Okeogba. Okeogba community is around 5.5 kilometers. Okeogba leads to Ondo Road, leads to everywhere, all the road networks. And we encounter a lot of outcrops, that it rocks in the Okeogba. And you know, it's a built-up area. You cannot use conventional blasting. The CBN Road, we discovered that coming from the secretariat, from the governor's office or Okenda, which is our whole secretariat, we discovered that the road is dualized, but when you get to the CBN junction, it's terminated there. So, and a lot of accident carnages at that junction because the intersection were not properly managed. So, and we discovered that from that place to Bishop's Court, we need to dualize it because from Bishop's Court to the back of Assembly, already it was dualized. So we are left with no option than to link them together. Look at Subeb Shijuade Road. People living in that area, in fact, already they lost hope. They never believe that development can come to them as fast as that. Look at Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal to Subeb, completed. And that road is very germane. You know, that area to Igbatoro, very, very highly populated. So we are trying to decongest the ShopRite roundabout. That's why we have those roads. Now you can see that we are no longer recording gridlocks in that axis now. Apart from the ShopRite or that dualization, the dual carriageway there is 4 kilometers, while the single lane is another 3.5 kilometers. The contractor substantially has completed the 4 kilometer the 4.5 dual carriage, And the remaining 3.5, he has started working on the remaining single lane of the 3.5. Go to airport. Before now, if we are entering the Akure airport, it doesn't look like state capital. But now, with the improvement of the alignment, look at it has been dualized. And apart from that, the main entrance road, the constructed car park for the new terminal built by the federal government. We constructed car park there, asphalted. That's where people are parking now. Look at Club 20. Club 20 to Futa Road, we worked on it. And we believe that we cannot say because we are constructing in roads, the inherited one, we should allow them to go into complete collapse. With that, in Akure now, recently we flagged up asphalt overlay project. Is more than even asphalt overlay, because there are some that we need to treat their base costs. Even some we are doing some fillings in the earthworks. So we are working massively now. Look at Araromi to Stadium Road, we've worked on it. Iyomo Eshadai Road, we've worked on it. It's under that scheme. Look at Agagu Road, we've worked on it. Very soon now we are moving to Lafe. And a lot, Araromi to Stadium. And in fact, we have more than 40 roads under this scheme in Akure. After that one, the second phase will be like Okearo, Idore Road, or Shinle.
That's the old one.
The old ones. Oh, yes, because they are completely impassable now. We cannot say because we are constructing new roads. We don't believe in just constructing road for constructing sake. The need, we have to come back, and those who want to save it, because if we save them now, we won't spend colossal sum in repairing them in future. Even after we have left office. But that's why a stitch in time saves 9. And look at A division. We started the dualization from A division, and we are taking it to Ijoka. And the A division, but we are doing segment by segment. Because in the past, if we are constructing road, if it is 5 kilometers, if it is 10 kilometers, we normally demolish all the adjoining properties, make the whole area very messy. So, but we now came up with an idea. If we are having 10 kilometers, we are not constructing 10 kilometers in a day. Why not segment it? Either 500 meters, we tackle the first 500, complete it, at least to a banded cost level before we move to the other 500. That's what we have been doing now. Now we are approaching the Breeze FM. From Breeze FM now to go to Okeobere Junction. And from that Okeobere, initially it was a bush area from that place to Idore. But Mr. Governor did promise the people of Idore, that's another local government, that if he's elected as at the campaigning period, that will construct an alternative route for them. Because Idore, we have only one road that enters Idore. And when he came on board, he said we should go and carry out the design and feasibility studies and the design. We went ahead, we discovered that we have 15.5 kilometers from Akure here to Idore, which is shorter than the existing route. So, and it has been constructed. Go there now, you will see it. Apart from that, we constructed internal roads in Idore too, like St. Joseph roads. We constructed it, we constructed another about 3 kilometers, Lisa Road, and that's in Idore. And we still plan to do more. Look at Alagbaka to SIB, Alagbaka to Obaile. We are linking Alagbaka to Obaile, which is about 14 kilometer length now. We are working on it. And Alagbaka to SIB completed. It's a virgin road, but it's thickly populated. So we promise our people that we try for them, and when we make case before Mr. Governor, before the Executive Council, they approved it. So we are working there. Another redeem estate, we are working there, and even some of our estates, they are now wearing in look. Go to Obaile, we constructed over 7 kilometers on Obaile Township Road. So, and look at Ilado, we are working on Ilado Axis too. Yeah, Ilado is more or less a virgin area after Federal Secretariat, and Ilado will have estate from belonging to Housing Corporation, and you go there, you see, you will pity our people that are living there. We don't have option than to fix those roads. Ilado we just started now. We are constructed about 3 or 4 kilometers in Ilado Axis. And come to Obaile, come to Ijapo. Ijapo, we've constructed about 11 kilometers in Ijapo, and we are still working there. But then,
just in that estate? In that
estate. Since we come, we've constructed over 11 kilometers. But we are still left with Idore Road and one other road there, and Fajui. We are still going to work in Idore, Fajui, in the estate, and in Jero, and a lot more. We are working now. At the moment, we are working at Igoba Township Road. We want to link it to OC, but the first phase is Igoba to the boundary between OC. After that one, we move to OC again. And apart from that, we are working at Ajipowo. Ajipowo, we are constructing about 2.5 kilometers in Ajipowo. And look at this estate in, what do you call it, in Idori Road, Afumbiowo. We have about 2 kilometers in Afumbiowo. The contractor is working there, and a lot more. Look at Club Road, Senior Staff Club Road. We are working there. Go to our 3D estate. We are working there. Recently, we just flagged up the construction of flyover from Oyarugulem to Irese. This one will span across the federal highway, and the reason for that was that we discovered we've been recording too much accidents, carnages every in and then. And now with that we carried out traffic sensors, and from the sensors we discovered that there's need to improve of the alignment and the grace. So with that we were left with no option than to have a flyover there. So now we are having a flyover of nice span 15 meter each, and with the middle span 30 meter. We have 30 meter for the middle span to cater for unforeseen or future event that might arise. You know, from that road, the federal highway is from Ilesha to Benin, which is single carriage, and we'll be agitating that federal government should dualize it. In case when federal government is ready to dualize, so that they won't tamper with our flyover. So we've catered for enough room, so that if they are dualizing, that's why we made the middle span to be 30 meter. So it's going to be a P-stress, which is not a normal beam. So, and the flyover, it will be on the foundation of about 160 number pies. So contractor is working massively on it now, and by God's grace, in the next 10 months, that project will be delivered. And it's the first of its kind in Akure, which will be the second in the state. And the first in the state is in the Southern Central District, which is in Ore. And the other one has been constructed and completed, commissioned. That was about 2 or 3 years ago. And because that Torreas is a major intersection. Because for the travelers that during the festive period, either in Christmas especially, most of our people from Lagos, they do travel to the eastern part, to the northern part of the country. So don't be surprised that some people will stay there for about 2 or 3 days. Some will even get to their destinations after the Christmas. So before the construction of that flyover. But during the time Mr. Governor went to the local government, which is alright, to be precise, for a campaign, when he was seeking for votes, he did promise the residents of that area that if he's elected, he will construct a flyover for them, which will cater for all those problems. And he did. So now, I know that, in fact, if you go there now, it's seamless driving, seamless operation.
You talked about the flyover bridge from Onyarugulem to the Rese Road, axis of the state capital. But there's also the question that has been asked by some people that, okay, so what happens after the point where the flyover bridge will land? What happens to Rese Road? Will that road also be constructed? What will happen? Secondly, a lot of people are talking about the median at Obadeshida Road, and a lot of questions or comments were received through our feedback mechanism, on that median. Some people are saying, why can't the state government construct another pedestrian bridge at probably some part of that road towards the A division and all of that? Now, is there any plan for such a thing? So, just 2 questions before we go to the south.
Concerning the flyover, at the exit of the flyover, we are constructing that road from that point to Ijare.
Oh,
yeah, we are going to treat the 4 portals, hydraulic structure, next hydraulic structure we put in place, and we overlay. Oh. So those the residents over there, they should be expecting.
You can rest assured.
Yeah, be rest assured. Right. That's for that. For the pedestrian bridge, some of our people, they don't know that there's reason for everything. Take for instance, so many people have been calling us, sending messages that Akure needs more than 2, 3, 4 flyovers, or one needs flyovers, some don't need flyovers. No, we must carry out traffic sensors. So many tests must be carried out to know do we actually need this. A lot of tests were carried out, a lot of traffic sensors were carried out in different locations before we conclude that it's only at the moment, it's only at that Onyarugulem that we need flyover. Ditto for the pedestrian bridge. The pedestrian bridge we're having at Ojaoba, are we using it properly? It can still contain us. It can staff us. When we're having overloading, when we're having more volumes that cannot accommodate, that people have to wait for some people to move before. That's when we can be talking about the second one. And the issue of the median that we blocked in that axis, it was because our people refused to start to be using the pedestrian bridge. So and then they will just be crossing the median indiscriminately. Thereby, any ongoing vehicle has to stop for people to pass. And by then, before we put that, before we erected the concrete New Jersey, we will discover that if you are leaving this my office to Secretariat, at times you can spend 1 hour, 1.5 hours. But since then we've put that one in place that will prevent people from crossing indiscriminately. You can go there under 5 minutes, you get to the Secretariat. It's just the approach or the manner people behaves. Let's take the simple instruction, everything will be okay. Our people, if we want to cross, use the pedestrian bridge, we will discover that it's still okay for us for now. And go to a federal, look at a bullet township roads. We constructed road there about 4 kilometers, and Igbara Ondo to Ebuji to Ondo Ekiti boundary. So that, I think that's about 11 kilometers. We constructed it and we completed it. Go to Ondo, we work in Ondo. Kobono Road, we work there. Shora Road, we work there. We are working at Sabo and a lot more than 8 or 9 different roads that we are working in Ondo, but we still plan to do more.
When Governor Akeredolu came on board in 2017, he said something that was very fundamental about the South. He said that would be the economic base of the state, and it's obviously showing because the port is going there and so many other things. Now, how much intervention in terms of infrastructure have you done in that area? I've
talked about the flyover in Ore. Also, in the local government, we are working on Olushere Road, which is about 15 kilometer length. We've worked on Araromi-Obu, 6.5 kilometers to be precise, and even that one, we've commissioned it. Apart from Araromi-Obu, Mr. Governor worked on the industrial hub or industrial hub. We have so many industries working there now that have now started boosting our internally generated revenue. It's still in Ore, in Odigbo local government. Let's go to the Okitupa. In Okitupa, we have selected roads. Ashwato Valley has selected roads in Okitupa. The contractor, I think, is at about 95% completed. Most of the roads almost completed. And we have the bypass. You got people traveling from here to the south, especially if you want to transverse through Okitupa. You discover that you spend more than half of the period that will take you from Akure to Ilaje inside Okitupa town. So with that, we now look inward and we advise government that there's need to have a bypass. Now the first leg of the bypass has been completed, which is 10.5 kilometers, constructed by Cranbrook Construction Company, and it has been commissioned. During the commissioning, His Excellency Ronald Sanwo-Olu was the one that came and declared it open about a year ago. And apart from that, we are working on Alakpearo, 2 kilometer length of road. The project now, the project I think is around 85% completed, because more than 25 kilometers completed. No, 27. We are left with just 5 kilometers. So the contractor is RCF Nigeria Limited, and we are working on Aboto Atijere Road. So the contractor is on site working on it, but the pace is slow. We've written to the contractor to brace up, and a lot more.
This week. Thank you very much for watching. Please keep the questions and comments coming through the number on your screen. Always remember that Nigeria is greater than any one of us. Bye now.